have you two
Look,
ever
look,
had
look.
an intimate relationship?
No.
Oh, you damn liar. Look at that, was a 20-second delay. They sleeping together. I told you. What is up, everyone? We are back with Smothered, this time episode 7, and it does not get any more disturbing than it continues to get in this show. And I find myself almost like a conspiracy theorist, like, what's real? What's fake? What's real? What's fake? Because you know damn well they're formulating some of this show. They're putting on some of this for ratings. But you gotta imagine that you have these mothers and daughters, mothers and sons, whatever. Some of it's got to be fake. But why would they put themselves in this situation? Why would you put this out there to be looking like the most crazy thing in the world? Maybe they're paying them? It can't be that much, right? I don't know, but we're going to get to it. It gets crazier and crazier every week. But first, make sure you follow, comment, like, subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. It does not go unnoticed. I do not take it for granted. Thank you. We are on a race to 1,000. Once we get there, we're going to be looking at the live show. So let's do it. Let's get to that and start talking about even more shows that we can do on a live kind of format. As we get into it, we are going to start with Gabrielle and Catherine. So, the mother-daughter duo of pageants, if you will. But the mom just wants her daughter to be her. That's all. So we got the results of the pageant, and not so shockingly, it wasn't super stellar. So with the results of the pageant, she didn't win. Okay, she didn't win. I'm not going to show that part. She didn't win. She came in 5th. I believe she was 4th runner-up for the 2nd year in a row. She came in 5th. They talked about the question. That's how she failed. Like the big top 5 question last year. They asked her about the right to bear arms, and she literally looked at her arms and said her arms are hairy. That has to be fake. It cannot be real. But then this year it's like, tell us a time where you've overcome something. I'm like, okay, anyone can answer that. Did the show pay him off to give her a simple question? I don't know. Either way, she didn't win. But her mom still tries to make it about her, starting with this.
Can I go on the stage?
Can I go on the stage? Why? Why do you need to go on the stage? Why? What's the point? Literally, the only point is to get herself back on the stage. Look at this poor guy. That dad is a defeated man. That is a battered man. He is beholden to his wife and his daughters. He probably tries to spend more time with the younger daughters because they're probably nicer to him, but that is a battered man. Look, they're not doing anything. She's up there smiling. Look at her. Look at her up there. All she's doing up there is simply up there with her, not even really saying anything, just smiling. Look, she's trying to look like that she's still in the pageants. She cannot let it go. But it only gets worse because she's got her in the shadow, and yet she's quite frankly exploited her by her own admission. Now, it's weird enough that you pull your daughter to the side to give her a foot rub in the Great Hall or wherever the hell they are, but then you say things like this.
Literally said that I didn't seem mature and that I need more life experiences to win the crown.
Okay, before we go on, she said she went and talked to the judges, and they said, you're not mature enough. You need more life experiences to win the crown. The people ahead of her, when they talked about him and they kind of introduced him, it sounded like they had done more with their life. What the hell, with a pageant? Okay, I don't understand what the life experience to win the pageant. I don't know what they're gauging that on. But either way, that's what they told her. This, instead of, some nice words of wisdom or whatever, this is what the mom thinks life advice or life experience is.
Who said that?
The judges.
What are you talking about? Your boobs are out. Your slit is up.
It's not because I look.
Your boobs are out and your slit is up. What mother says that about their early 20-something? Well, you're almost naked up there. I mean, I don't know what more they want. I don't know what more these dirty old men want but you're half naked. I mean, what the hell? What are we supposed to do? Like, as those words came out of her mouth, it should have been like vinegar. Like, what the hell? Did something just take over me with the crazy crap I just said? This lady got serious freaking problems, man. But she don't get no better. She don't change.
We actually don't want this crown.
I don't know.
We don't
Deborah.
want this
For a
crown.
different one.
What about our legacy?
What about, did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said? She said, what about my legacy? I had to listen back and forth because then Gabrielle afterwards says, what about, or something about our legacy. But I was like, did she say our legacy or did she say my legacy? Because it's a big difference. It sounds a lot like she says, my legacy. What about my legacy? This has nothing to do with you, lady. If she wants to do that because it's her, fine. Let her do it. But you trying to mold her to be you so you can relive through her that you didn't win Miss America or whatever is something seriously wrong in that parenting. This daughter of yours is extremely immature and is not having life experiences because she's so caught up in the pageants, and you can't let it go because you want her to relive your life. Big problem. But then Gabrielle might have some ideas about the pageants that probably aren't going to sit that well with her mom.
I don't know, like, I've been kind of thinking, like, I'm almost wanting something more.
She wants something more. The girl is crying out for help. Now, the problem is, in her timeline, I'm supposed to win the pageant. I'm supposed to go, or when you relinquish the crown, you move on to bigger and better things, or you win Miss America, or whatever, and then you go on to bigger and better things. I want more. She cannot name what that more is. That's the problem. She wants more. More what? Your mom has made this whole pageant thing your identity, and you don't even know what you really like. The only thing you can say is you were more creative, you had some struggle with learning, so you went into beauty because you like doing hair and stuff. Okay, what is more? Do you want to open your own salon? Or are you just saying, I want to be more famous in a different way? Either way, she can't really name what her goals are, and when your mom has made your whole identity the pageants, it's because of her. So this is the sad part. She's on failure to launch mode because the mom hasn't set her up for success or even tried to give her any independence. It's more, no, we're going to do what I want when I want it. You can live at home forever and we're going to win these pageants and whatever. The poor girl is not even acting like an adult. She is acting like she's in high school. She's acting like she's in middle school. And instead of growing up, which is going to be extremely hard to do in your 20s with your mom not letting go, she's stuck in this rut. It is sad, and yet it continues on. So I hope she can break away. I don't know if that's going to happen, though. I just don't. Palette cleanser. Let's look at one of the actual relationships in here, or familial relationships that actually kind of makes me smile and think, all right, it's a fun relationship, but it's not really crazy. Unlike Trevor and India, who have a really weird one, we're going to get to that because it gets weirder and weirder. But this one is kind of like a legitimate son-in-law, mother-in-law relationship. They kind of go back and forth, they joke, but they have respect for each other and they really like each other. And the mother and the daughter are close, and maybe it's a little annoying because they're always together, but it's more normal than the other ones. It's just kind of maybe they just spend a lot of time together. So this one I kind of like to see because it's actually kind of happy. It kind of gives you that palate cleanser from the craziness that is moms and daughters showering together and mother-in-law and son-in-law almost making out and all these other things, plastic surgeries and all this crap that should have nothing to do with mother and daughter relationships and are just nothing but toxic and dangerous in and of themselves.
Here to here, then the next one will go this way, then this.
Now she still wants to do her funeral party, even though she's got diabetes, but it's not a crazy illness, at least of right now, that they thought it was. So she wants to do her funeral party. She wants to make her paper mache legs for some reason to hang out of the coffin. So that's where we're at, and he's helping her with it.
This way, then this way.
What is it, like the paper mache stuff? Oh, that's perfect. I'll just keep lathering it
This-
up. By the time you're done, you'll look like a big piñata. I'll
So, I
hit you
mean,
with a bat a couple times.
This is love.
Oh, absolutely.
This is love right there. This is why I love to see it, because it's like, if you can joke with someone, if you can have a good time and you can make jokes like that and you can have fun, you can both laugh, that's real love right there. I have a respect for you. Y'all get on each other's nerves sometimes, but that's a healthy relationship. That's fun. That's something we like to see. Not like the others, but that's why I say palate cleanser, because you see that and it's like, okay, little relief before we get into the other craziness. All right, let's go on to Trevor and India. We needed that palate cleanser, let me tell you. So, what his wife tells him is that basically she's sick of the mother being there. Her and the mother have a strained relationship, and yet the mother is living in their house with them. She's over it. She's pregnant. She's close to giving birth. She basically finally tells her husband that my mom has to go. The baby's due in 2 months. We can go ahead and tell her she'll have 2 months. He's not having it, and she is taking appropriate measures because he has chosen the mother-in-law over his wife time and time again. It is disturbing. It is what no man does. This guy right here, this ain't no man. You know what a man does? A man protects his wife. A man protects his kids. And that is not what this guy is doing. He has taken the mother-in-law's side, going off to play bingo, leaving the kids with his pregnant wife, who is very, very pregnant, so he can have a good time eating out of the mouth of his mother-in-law. Yes, that is what happened. That is no man. I don't know what is going on with men and masculinity these days, but that ain't it. I tell you it. So listen to what she does, and I 100% back her in this.
Either she goes, or y'all both can
Do
go.
it. Yes. Get the out.
You don't understand how stressed I am about this situation.
Look, he's pouting. She is telling him. Now, I'm not saying that every feeling that comes from husband, wife, whatever, is legitimate or even rational. But when you see the track record of this, it makes sense. She's stressed. She's pregnant. She's talked to him about it before over and over and over again. It's her mom. He knows the issues they have. And yet he wants to pout and act like, oh, why are you doing this to me? You're taking away my best friend. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? But yet she follows. Good for her. Good for her. But what he does is more disturbing. What he does. First, he ramps up the aggression, if you will. For what? Because, like, we need our life back? It was nice of my mom to be here. She said nice things before, but we need our space. So he ramps it up.
What's your best friend?
You know what? As a matter of fact, if you're gonna talk to me like that, then I'm leaving. Like, you know better than to talk to me.
Talk to you like what?
I'm not gonna stand here and listen to it, Delisa.
All right. So, talk to you like what? She talked to you calmly and said, my mom needs to get out. All he kept saying is, I agree. I just don't agree with the time frame of 2 months. What time frame would you have? And so she said, okay. She gets out, starts pulling his stuff out. A little over-exaggerated, sure. But she's fed up. I get it. And yet, this is what he does. You ain't going to talk to me that way. You ain't going to talk to me that way. I'm going to go do, you know what I'm going to do? Look what he does.
Nothing. Don't even worry about it. You know, like, I ain't come down here to get all into it. Like, I came down here.
He goes and gets in bed with his mother-in-law. My God. She is saying, my mom needs to get out because it's too much stress. And you know what he does? He goes and sleeps with his mother-in-law. Let's see how that's going to play out.
Here because I need a break from it.
Fine with me.
Have you two
Look.
an intimate relationship?
No.
Oh, you damn liar. Look at that. Was a 20-second delay. They sleeping together. I told you. I called it. What? Winner for me. I don't care what they say. At this point, they are sleeping together. They are having sex. They're having an affair. Whatever. You don't get that close and don't have issues there. Okay? You know, this is so wrong and twisted. And yet, here they are, continuing on. He knows what his wife feels like, and he crawls into bed with his mother-in-law. What the holy hell is wrong with you? But you know what? He might have a wake-up call. He might. He might have a wake-up call.
He's gonna have dimples, have a bunch of hair, look just like me.
Look at how much...
Sure enough.
Look at how much the mom respects her daughter. Listen to what she says.
The minute she came out, spitting image.
I'm excited that the baby looks like me because it makes me more connected to Trevor.
What the... You're gonna make me cuss. You're gonna make me cuss. I am thrilled that the baby looks like me because it makes me feel closer to Trevor. Not my daughter, to Trevor, your son-in-law. And you're not sleeping with him, but you have this weird fantasy about y'all having a kid? My God, therapy doesn't begin to cover what is done. But let's hope he has a wake-up call. And I hate that it's at the expense of his wife, but I hope, I mean, there is redemption. Redemption can happen. But it's on him at this point. It is on him. So his wife had to go to the emergency room because she had been feeling bad after a couple days. She wasn't feeling well and was diagnosed with postpartum preeclampsia. Now, postpartum preeclampsia is like high blood pressure, excess protein in the urine. High blood pressure, depending on how high it is, can lead to stroke and all kinds of medical issues. So it can be a big deal. And you're talking about something that, how well is it going to be controlled? So obviously he's upset just by looking at his picture. But let's see what he has to say, and let's see if he can finally realize something has to change.
That she has postpartum preeclampsia.
Yep.
There's risks of stroke,
Yep.
brain damage,
Yep.
Death. Like, oh my gosh.
Yep. All the above. He's upset. Okay, he's upset. And he should be. That's his wife. 100%. It's sad. But is this going to be the wake-up call for him?
And the doctor said that if she gets to the point where we can go home, here you go. She's gonna really have to make some significant changes with respect to her stress level.
There you go. Okay, the doctor is telling you that she is going to have to make significant changes with her stress level. He goes on to say that as much as he doesn't want to, he's going to have to ask the mother-in-law to leave. So the question becomes, is he going to man up and actually do it and finally be like, what the hell was I thinking? I was in a daze, I was in whatever, I was blinded because I originally thought he had mommy issues, but his mom was there. I don't know. But at this point, you are making a choice. You're choosing your wife over your mother-in-law. That should never be a choice. You spend some time with the in-laws, that's it. But your wife comes first. When you marry, when you have a marriage, your wife or your husband, if you're a female, comes first over your parents. That's just the way it is. That is your family now. Doesn't mean you don't love your parents, doesn't mean you don't protect them and are there for them, but you look out for your family unit first, above all. And he didn't do that. He was more concerned about his fun with his mother-in-law. So I don't want to see anyone hurting, but I hope this is a huge wake-up call for him that something has to change. We'll see. We'll see. Man up, dude. Be a man, because you haven't been one so far. Woo! All right. A little more fun, but yet still crazy as hell. Eva and Sunny. Now, Sunny has dug herself into a corner or hole or whatever you want to say because she is keeping something from her boyfriend Scott, who she's moving in with, and her mom, Eva, who she's giving her apartment to. Scott doesn't know she's giving her apartment to her mom. Her mom doesn't know that she's moving in with Scott, and yet she thinks it's a good idea to go out to dinner and break the news. Huh. Now, how do you think her mom is going to react when she tells her? So she decided whoever she tells first is going to be less mad at her. So she decided to tell Scott first. So I guess that's a step in the right direction. I don't know. But either way, he's not happy because this is what he didn't want. He didn't want the mom to be there, be able to be there all the time at their house, which she will be if they're neighbors. But when she told her mom had some interesting thoughts.
For tradition, what are you going to be like a slut?
Oh my God, man. Look at him. Look at him. I don't blame him. Her, are you serious? You just said because you're moving in with your boyfriend, what are you going to be, a slut? Because of her Muslim religion and she believes they need to be married before moving in together. Okay. You can have beliefs that maybe it's better to not live together before your marriage if you have the beliefs of that. But at the same time, your daughter's an adult. And do you really think calling her a slut because she's moving in with her boyfriend who, I get it, they're not married, but have been pretty stable. This isn't like boyfriend number 3 over the past month that she's moving in with. No, this has been a pretty stable boyfriend for a year now, and yet you're going to say she's a slut because they're not married yet. Her mom got problems.
You didn't even ask me.
You didn't even ask me. Look at him.
I don't even know what to do.
Look, this is how I would feel. This is how I would feel. She's bothered that she did not get asked by Sunny if she could move in with her boyfriend. She didn't ask you because you would have said no, and it's her life. Now, granted, Sunny needs to grow the up and realize that she's an adult, and if she wants to do something, she can do that. She's had her own place. She's not at the mercy of her mother's house. She doesn't live at her mother's house, and her mother's like, my house, my rules. I don't care how old you are. Which, if it's her house, then she could. No, she's been in her own place. Her mother stayed with her more than anything, and yet she's still saying, you didn't even ask me. How dare you? And he's like, I can't. And he starts laughing, and she's bothered more than that. But her reaction after this, it's who's the mature one here? It ain't her mom.
She's just a girlfriend. Nothing.
She's just a girlfriend.
Is she ever going to be able to have a relationship with somebody else
Good question.
without you basically being in the relationship?
Exactly.
She's never not gonna be able to do that because you know what?
Be in the relationship.
Eva got
my
problems.
She's
Sonny got
my
problems.
mother.
You are not her blood.
Yes,
And
they're
there's a
separate.
difference in the two.
I swear.
Look, she threw it in his face. She threw the drink in his face. What are we talking about here? Are we adults? She literally said, basically what he was saying is, are you going to be able to be in a separate relationship? Like, your mom is your mom. I get it. But she's not a part of your boyfriend, your husband, whatever. That's not her relationship. But yet, Eva and Sonny act like they are closer. So it's like, you can't be a boyfriend with her. You just can't. So he's asking, is it ever going to be able to be separate? And instead of Sonny saying, yes, it's a separate relationship, you're right, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have moved her in when I knew this bothered you. And this was a sticking point. If they were going to move in together, the mom had to not be there all the time. That was a sticking point. She's going to be there all the time. Instead, she went with him, got the lease, signed the lease with him, presumably, and then she's going to break it to him because you are trifling. You trapped him into a year lease instead of gave him an option when all he's saying is, I want to marry you, but I want us to have our separate relationship. And yet this is how the mom reacts because he points that out, that they need to have a separate relationship. She throws a drink in his face. What the hell is wrong with these people? There's something seriously wrong. I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what's going on. But these crazies, that's why I say I feel like a conspiracy theorist. What is real and what is not? What is fabricated? Oh my gosh. Like, what the hell is going on? It gets insane, more and more insane every time. We will see how it plays out, but I don't think oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how they last. I don't know how they continue on. We will see though. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate the support. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, watch all the videos. We got Married at First Sight on Thursdays at 6. We got 90 Day Fiancé Mondays at 6. And we got Smothered on Saturdays. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Race to 1,000. Once we get there, we will be talking about a live show. And then we will go from there, maybe be able to cover even more reality shows weekly. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. See you next time.